How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy. I'm Will, and today we're jumping into some Arkham horror. So this was a game I was interested in checking out for a while now. Probably should have gotten in earlier than later because now content is going to be next to impossible to find. But there is a new revised core set coming out, so I figured let me try this. Let me get the core game and the last expansion. So I have that and figured let me get that played before the new core set comes out because it's kind of the continuation of the story. See if I like it, don't like it. Kind of the reason I say whether I like it, don't like it is I like Marvel Champions. If you watch my top 50 of all time, you'll see Marvel Champions is pretty high up there. However, I played Lord of the Rings and it didn't hit. I'll have to try it again. So if you guys want to see it on the channel, just let me know down below. So I'm hoping this does a little bit better because it does have more of a dungeon crawly feel to go around and to accomplish the tasks and stuff. And I think I like that better than Lord of the Rings was trying to do like you were going on quest, but it didn't feel like you were going on quest, if that makes any sense. So we're going to go ahead and get this done. Again, it is my first playthrough because this is the first chapter. I got the 2 decks I've got off of the Arkham database builder thingy. They're like the best rated decks for both Roland and Wendy. So those are the 2 they recommend you play with in the book. So that's what we're doing. I do have, like I said, Drowning City. So I do have those investigator packs as well. So when we have to go upgrade these during the campaign, you guys can let me know which cards I should add in the comments. So with that said, let's go ahead and flip over the camera. Hopefully I'm set up good. I don't know how big this gets. I'm also going to try dice, although now I'm feeling like tokens might be better. I use dice for Marvel Champions, so we'll see how that works. These are tokens I got off of Etsy. A seller has these. Normally you put the cards inside of them. I tried to put the coins in coin capsules. I had the wrong size coin capsules. I cut them incorrectly, and so that didn't work. So I'm using these now instead because I think they serve the exact same purpose of what I want to do. I would explain how to play Arkham Horror, but I think enough people probably know how to play Arkham Horror that me going over the rules is kind of a mute point. Also, I could not explain how to do it better than probably other people that have played it and have already given the rules. So with that, we're doing Rolling Banks. My starting hand, I got Dynamite Blast, Deduction, Working a Hunch, Roland's 38, and Unexpected Courage. I don't know what I would need or what I don't need, so I don't know what to mulligan right now. So we're just going to kind of keep everything, I guess, for now. And then for Wendy, we have Backstab, Guts, Lucky, Baseball Bat, and Flashlight. So again, I know there's nothing that we're going to attack now, but something might attack us, on the subsequent turn. So I guess we will read the story. I guess we read this and then that. Not sure the order of reading here. Imagine this, because this tells us how to set it up. All right. So this is the night of the Zealot. The Ghoul's Hunger. Friday, September 18th, 1925. Arkham, Massachusetts. It is the end of a long and abnormally hot summer. The first hints of autumn beckon, but a heavy heat persists, relentless. A silent, unspoken anger grips the town. Tempers are short, and the last week alone there have been numerous reports of townspeople coming to heated, violent blows with one another over simple misunderstandings. And now, a call from James Hackerson. He claims that he has found a dismembered body in his barn. Blaming the weather would be too easy. There is just something wrong with this town, and not a whole lot of this old soothsayer can do to stop the slide. My Argeries indicate a small group of investigators will soon take note of these strange happenings and step forth to make things right. I'll be watching the progress, but I won't be holding my breath. So Night of the Zealot is a campaign, blah, blah, blah. So it's 3 parts, which is all in the core set. When playing, we'll do blah, blah, blah. And then we're doing setup. Of course, I am doing easy because no, I don't even want to play like Marvel Champions half the time or anything higher than easy. But we did choose all this, choose our difficulty, filled up our bag. Campaign log is on the back cover there. I'll have to make a copy of that. Part 1. I guess I can print it off online. The Gathering. You and your partners have been investigating strange events taking place in your home city of Arkham, Massachusetts. Over the past few weeks, several townspeople have mysteriously gone missing. Recently, their corpses turned up in the woods, savaged and half-eaten. Ew. The police and newspapers have stated the wild animals are responsible, but you believe there is something else going on. You're gathered together at the lead investigator's home to discuss these bizarre events. So we've done the setup already, and then do not read because I guess that's more story. So I don't know much about the Arkham universe. I haven't played any of the other games. I haven't read any of the books. I haven't watched any movies. I know of it in passing, I guess as it would be. Another reason why I never got to play this is definitely something Oddity would not play. All right. So, our first act, what's going on? It is a late night. You're holed up in your study researching the bloody disappearances that have been taking place in the region. A few hours into your research, you hear the sound of strange chanting coming from your parlor down the hall. At the same time, you hear dirt churning, as if something were digging beneath the floor. So, that's not good. I don't think either one of those is good. Trapped. As you leap to investigate, the door to your study vanishes before your eyes, leaving behind only solid wall. You're trapped inside your study until you can find another way out. All right, so that is that. So that's what we're trying to do. All right, so I know you're supposed to choose who does what first or whatnot. I really don't know who should do what first, so I'm just going to go first player, second player. That's just the way I'm going to try to do this. Lead investigator is Roland. So, you've been investigating strange events occurring in Arkham for several days now. Your desk is covered with newspaper articles, police reports, and witness accounts. So this is our study location. Both people are going to go to the study. There and there. And then there are 2 clues per people there. So that is full. The door to your study has vanished. And I bought these cheap sleeves, and I'm very upset that I bought a huge box of these cheap sleeves because I bought a small pack and I liked them, and now I'm hating them. There's so much glare on this thing. Yeah, so 4 clues. Yeah, 2 per player, and then it's a 2 to succeed. All right, so I guess we will start with Roland. Actions. So we got 3 actions. I got these red cubes to try to help me remember that I get 3 actions. Draw a card, don't really need to do that. We have all 5 resources. So we have a deduction. If this skill set is successful while investigating a location, discover an additional clue. So that actually would be good. So he's at 3 plus 1, so that'd be 4. The most I can get is a -2, I think. So yeah, we can play that when we do that action. I think we want to get my pistol into play first. So that is 3, I think. Yeah, 3. Unexpected courage, max 1 per squeal. So that's a wild. Working on a hunch, fast. Play only during your turn. Discover 1 clue at your location. Okay, so this just outright discovers a clue, right? Yeah, it's an event. Play only during your turn. Fast. What does the fast keyword mean? Fast. Player may play a fast card without spending an action. Oh, okay. So, yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. So this was my first action, was playing that card. We do this without paying an action, so that allows us to discover a clue. That puts us down to 3. This is probably why I think I'm wanting to go to tokens. And then we need a die for our clues up there. Yeah. So we have 1 clue. All right, we need 4, so we need all 4 of these to do that anyways. All right. Our second action, we can't move. So let's go ahead and investigate. So we're going to investigate for 3. Yeah, we're going to investigate for 3. We're going to add this for 4. And if it's successful, then we'll get a bonus clue. So, this is the tentacles. Tentacles, I think, mean I automatically fail. I think that's what the tentacles mean. Oh, that's the worst one to pull first. I think that means I automatically fail, right? Where are the symbols? Chaos bag. Where does it have that? I forget where it has that now. There you go. Indicates an automatic failure to skill test. Yeah, well, that blows as a first thing. And it's like I played that card specifically so I wouldn't get an extra. All right, so that was my second action. Yeah, I've got this, which gives me +2. I only need 2 to beat it. Max 1 committed per skill test. Innate. I don't know what innate means. Innate. It's not on that one. It must be in this one. So that's one thing with Fantasy Flight games is they give you 2 books, which is nice because then you don't have to have everything right off the bat, but then I have to do things like this. Innate. Innate, immune, hunter, innate. Innate is not in here, so okay. I mean, I can't do anything else, right? I can't go anywhere. Oh, I need 4 ammo. 4 ammo. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're going to investigate again for our last action. So that is 3, 4, 5. I guess max 1 committed means you can only do 1 of these per committed skill test. All right, we don't want that failure again. That is a 0. So we passed that time. And then flying colors. So that gets us another clue. There. All right. So I have 1 card. All right. So it is her turn. So same thing. We pretty much can just investigate. Fighting isn't going to do us any good right now. Lucky, fast. Play when you would fail a test. Get +2 to your skill for that test. Baseball bat. I think we want to get the baseball bat out. So let's get the baseball bat out. So that is puts us at 3. Yeah. Okay. When you reveal a chaos token, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Cancel that chaos token and return it to the bag. Reveal a new chaos token. So I can only do that once. Okay. This is 2-handed, so I can't have a flashlight too. All right. So let's go ahead and investigate. Her investigate is at 3. So we can add the flashlight since I can't use it anyways. So that's 3. That puts her at 4. We only needed 2. And we got the cloak. What does the cloak do? -1 if you feel take a horror, but we are at what, 3, 4, so we succeeded. So that is good. All right, so we succeeded. So 1 and 3, and then we will what is the faces for? Willpower. It's a willpower check. We're not doing a willpower check. We're doing an intellect check. I could try to just go in by itself because I do have lucky, which would get +2 if I fail. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I have lucky. I also have this, but I mean, I have lucky. Why not? All right, let's go for our last investigate. That is the cloak, so it's -1. So it'd be 3 - 1 is 2. It's 2. She still succeeds. So that is the last one there. So that does make this progress. Just put that over there. So we progressed here. You notice that the edge of your newly purchased rug are tattered and mud-stained. Finding this odd, you shift the furniture aside and pull back the rug. To your surprise, you see a door leading out of your study. You slowly turn the knob and the door swings open, revealing a hallway below. You jump through the doorway, landing on your feet on the soft dirt. The door to the study slams shut above you. The smell of burning wood fills the narrow hall. intermingled with the scent of rot and decay. Put into play the set aside hallway, cellar, attic, and parlor. Discard each enemy on the study. Well, there weren't any enemies on the study. Place each investigator in the hallway. Move the study from the game. All right, so the hallway, cellar, attic, and parlor. All right, so now we got to make these connect. So this connects to all three, and all three just connect to that. All right, so that is that. That is that. Oops, are these the wrong way? Yeah, that way. I think. Yeah, so now the second edition I've heard comes with the arrows, right? So you know where you are. All right, so we're going to the hallway. A moment of panic and disorientation strikes as you land upon the floor in the hallway. The world spins as if it's turned on its head. Hallway location. The walls in your house are splattered with mud, and your hardwood floor is gone, replaced with a dirt path. So, there's no clues. I don't know what the 1 means, if there's nothing I can do here. What's the 1 mean? I thought that was the difficulty. I'm just talking about location cards. Revealed. So it's got the revealed card. All right, so it's showing the hallway here. Here we go. Investigate. Investigator using the investigating current location will attempt to find clues. Investigator makes an intellect test in the shroud. If the skill test is successful, then it discovers 1 clue from the location. An investigator discovers a clue from the location. Player with 1 clue from the location places it on the investigator card. Investigator fails, no clues are discovered. So why does that have an investigate? Even though there's no clues. Now I'm kind of confused about why that has an investigate symbol. All right. We get our actions back. All right. So that was our actions. Now we go to the enemy phase. Enemies with, okay, there's no enemies. Enemies engaged, there's no enemies engaged. So, upkeep phase, reset actions, we did that. Ready all exhausted cards. Well, we didn't have any exhausted. Each investigator draws 1 card and gains 1 resource. Well, that's good, I need more cards. And gains 1 resource, so we're at 4, and 3. Right. Each investigator checks the hand size. Well, we know we're not at 8. All right. Now we are doing the mythos because this is the first mythos phase. So place 1 doom on the agenda. Boink. Advance the agenda. Doom threshold is satisfied. It's not. Each investigator draws 1 card from the deck. All right. So, Crypt Chill, Hazard, Revelation, Test, what's that one again? Willpower. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage. All right, so we need to do a willpower check. I do have a willpower card. His willpower is 3. It's a test of 4, so I'm already below. Wow. Although we're in the same location, so she can actually help. So let's hear, does she have something to help me with? She has the guts. So we're going to play the guts for his skill check to give us 2. And then I'm going to play the dynamite. That gets us to 3, 4, 5, 6. That gets us to 6. All right, let's see what we got. And the skull is X. X is the number of ghoul enemies in your location. There's no ghoul enemies, so that was 0. So that means we passed. So you just get discarded. All right. Let me go here. Swarm of rats. 1/1/3. Creature. Hunter. A horde of rats skitters forth in an undaunting wave of claws and teeth. So they are there now. All right, so now we're back to the investigation phase. All right, so he has a knife. We could equip the knife. We could move to one of the other locations. The entrance of the parlor is blocked by a darkly glowing, unfathomable barrier. You cannot move into the parlor. Well, okay. Stairs glisten in your cellar are slick, and they glisten with a thin layer of ice. The attic. The smell of rotten meat assaults your nostrils as you approach the attic. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? So I can't attack here. So after I defeat an enemy, discover one clue. Well, I'm not in a location to discover clues, so that doesn't work. There's no clues in that location. So I think I'm going to move. Let's go to the cellar. So first action, we're going to move. And reveal. So we have 4 clues here. Forced. After you enter the cellar, take 1 damage. Well, that's not nice. So I guess it said it was slippery. I should have known I was going to take damage. So that is 8. 8. I need spin down dice. That's my problem. None of my dice I use for any of my games are spin down dice. I saw somebody had a nice wheel, like the health dial type wheels, and it had two of them. And it was actually the heart on one side and the brain on the other. And I went onto Etsy and I could not find that exact same one. So if anybody knows where that dial is, who has that dial, let me know. All right. So now I can investigate, but it's investigate 4. And I have no investigation capabilities. So. Do items give me the bonus? Like I was looking at when it said doing a quest, and it didn't say that you count your items that are equipped, your equipped items. So let me see here. Where's items? Gauge, fight, enemy. Deck building. I don't want deck building. I want items. Slot restrictions. The icons above. No, it just says about putting them in your slots. And then skill test. Modifying. Booster value. 2 ways to do this. First, they may commit an eligible card, which icons match. Yeah, I mean any number of cards from their hand to the test. In addition, the investigator may, they may activate a pre-triggered ability during the test. So, so I'd have to have an ability on something. Okay, that's what I read. I didn't think my items counted. All right, so I can't even do that. I can't even investigate there. It wouldn't do me any good. So I probably should have beat up on this rat. All right. Well, she can't bring the rat with her. She's gonna have to beat up on her. I guess I'm gonna move again. Victory 1 if we complete this, though. Okay. So I get 1 XP if I complete this. I'm at 3. I have no way to get higher than 3. So I can do a draw action, I guess. So I'm gonna do an action to draw a card. Maybe I'll get a book. Did not get a book. I got a machete. I have a machete. I have a machete and a knife. Machete seems more valuable. Fight, you get +1 attack for this attack. If the attacked enemy is the only enemy engaged with you, this attack does +1 damage. Fight, you get +1. Discard knife. Fight, you get +2 for this attack. The attack does 1 more damage. So this is an upgraded version of this. Is really what that is. I guess we're gonna go here. She can find clues, I guess. Doesn't mean we're gonna progress that on the next turn. So we're gonna use our last action is moving us into the attic. The attic has 4 clues as well. We need 6 clues. 6 clues to get past the barrier, which I'm guessing that's the barrier. So we got to get 6 of these. Forced. After you enter the area, take 1 heart. Yeah, that's what you get for running off on your own. Reminds me of the Lost Ones I was playing. I played the Lost Ones, and Will just kept going off on his own. All right, so that was all of his actions. All right, Wendy, what you gonna do? Wendy has to beat up the... why am I picking up her baseball bat? She needs to beat up on the swarm of rats. Swarm of rats have 1. So she has 1. And if we use her weapon, she gets +2. She's at 3 and does +1 damage. If a skull or the tentacle symbol is revealed during this attack, discard the bat after the attack resolves. And I do still have my lucky, and then she has her ability. All right, so we're going to attack, because otherwise we would have to evade, which, I mean, we could. We're at 4, and it has 3. So we're going to attack. We're going to exhaust our bat. So we get +2, so we are at 3. We only need 1. The tablet, -2, but there is no ghoul. So it's -2. We were at 3, right? We're at 3. So that is still a success. So he goes away. He is not worth any victory points. Oh, was that last one worth any victory points? No. That was not worth any victory points. All right. So that was her first action. So, second action, she's going to move. I guess anybody who enters here is going to have to take the 1 damage. Okay, well, that's just dandy. All right, so she's at 6. That was her second action. And then her third action, she's going to investigate. Well, maybe she's not. Yeah, because all she has is agility. All she has is agility. So I guess same thing. I'm going to have to draw a card because I can't really do anything else. All right, yeah. Last action, I'm going to have to draw a card, I guess. That's a willpower fighting card. Not going to do her much good. All right. Mythos phase. All right. So, place 1 doom. We're at 2. Advance the agenda. Not yet. Get both of us a friend. And see what happens. Treachery. Dissonant voices, terror. Revelation. Put dissonant voices into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events. Forced. At the end of the round, discard. Okay, so I can't do assets or events. What are considered assets? I guess it would say. I mean, this is items and weapons. Is there something that says assets? What's an asset? That's a tactic. That's an innate. That's practiced. That's insight. There's something called assets. Item, tool, innate. No. Rules reference. I don't know what an asset is. I mean, the one, I know an event is a keyword, so like that makes sense. Asset doesn't make sense to me. Asset cards. Asset cards represent items, allies, talents, spells, and okay, so every card. I can't play a card, basically. What can I do then? Can't do anything. I mean, I could attack if somebody was there to attack. I can move. Okay. Well, if she gets a guy, then yeah, I can move in here and attack it and get a clue. So let's hope this is something I can hit. No, it's a treachery. Ancient Evils. Revelation. Place 1 doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda. You've got to be kidding me. So yes, we are now advancing the agenda. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you've been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognize elements of your former home. The lead investigator must decide. Choose one. Either each investigator discards 1 card at random from his or her hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. I guess we're going to discard a card at random? The only problem with that is I don't want to discard my machete. I don't. No. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm trying to forget what was what. I think I may have done that. I'm not sure. We'll get rid of that. Oh, yeah, I must have. See? That's how you guys know I actually forgot what I was doing. All right. And then A, B, C. Alphabets. 1, 2, 3. You and me. Oh, got rid of her lucky. I wanted her to be engaged with something. Whoops. So he could actually do something. He can't do anything now. So, yeah, this is investigate 1. He can investigate. I just can't play any cards to boost it. So, for his first action, we're going to investigate. I guess we're just going to investigate 3 times. 0. He has succeeded at his investigation. We're at 1. Oh, Rise of the Ghost. Forgot. The floor beneath you is giving way, and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting in the darkness below. Shapes and silhouettes, strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels, trying to find a way up. You probably don't want to be here when they do. All right, so we got 7. Okay, 7 on this one. We got a little bit longer. All right, so we're just going to keep investigating. It's all I can do in this place. -1, I have 3, so that is still a success. So we're down to 2. We're up to 2. All right. And 0 for our third action, so that is 3 successes. Put that at 1. So we didn't even need to worry about not being able to play cards. Oh, I forgot. I forgot for us to each draw a card earlier. We each should have drawn a card, and we each should have gotten a resource. So I may not have lost my machete earlier, now that I think about it. Okay. So, Wendy, on the other hand, does she have anything to investigate? No. She's got a baseball bat. Again, she has another baseball bat. Willpower. And then she has her dexterity. She can't do anything. Like, what do I do with her? I don't have any other equipment I can put on her. I could move her here, and she just takes a horror, and she could get that last one, I guess. But she's got 3. Like, the chances of failing is not horrible. I guess that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend 1 action to move over here. She does have to take a horror, and then we're going to do. We're just same as E. We're just gonna do a raw search. -1, still a success. So that is the last clue. So that puts us at 4, right? 4. All right. So we're at 4 of 6. Okay. She has 2 more actions. I don't know what else to do. What else do I do with her? I can draw a card. I can gain a resource. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do. All right, so I guess we'll do that. We will. What do I got for cards? Let's draw a card first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's draw a card first, because maybe. Well, no, then I wouldn't be able to move and investigate. But yeah, let's draw a card first. Still didn't help me. How much resources do I need? I don't need much resources. I only have 5 total if I played these cards. I mean, I could put an asset into play. So I have 2 assets, 3 assets. So these are just regular assets, right? I'm allowed to have one of the. How many assets? I'm allowed to have 1 like regular non-symbol asset, right? Let's see here. 1 accessory slot. No, 1 arcane slot. What is this considered? Talent. No. Is this not a slot? Why would I pay resources? This is an event, so that's definitely not what I want. This is an asset, but it doesn't have a symbol down here. So where does it go? I'm not sure. Is it a misprint? Let's see. Or hang on. There was one that said if it doesn't have a symbol. If an asset has no symbol on it, it does not take up any slots. Okay, so it doesn't take up any slots. So fine. Let's put Hard Knocks out then. Put out Hard Knocks for 2. There. That was my last 2. I don't know what else to do with her. That was kind of it. All right. Enemies don't happen. Discard at the end of the round. So when I get to the upkeep, okay. Reset actions. Ready all exhausted. Nothing is exhausted. 1 card for you. 1 card for you. 1 resource for you. 1 resource for you. All right. And then we get rid of. All right. Add 1 to this. You get a card, and you get a card. So, first up. Treachery, Frozen Fear, Terror, Revelation. Put Frozen Fear into play in your threat area. The first time you perform one of the following actions, move, fight, or evade each round, costs 1 additional action. Forced, at the end of your turn, test 3. Willpower test 3 if you succeed, discard. Oh, man. Why does he keep getting those ones? Rotting Remains, Terror, Revelation, test 3. For each point you fail, take 1 horror. So willpower test. So, she has no willpower. He has no willpower to help her. And even if I did, I needed to get rid of that stupid card. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to do a straight willpower. I mean, I've got her ability, so I can always do that once. But she has 4. I just need not a -2. That's a 0. That's a success. All right. So goodbye test. Goodbye test. All right. So we are back here again. Which means we're gonna take more damage to go back in the cellar. Dang it. That probably wasn't a smart idea. So the victory, is this when I get all the clues in an area? So that's the reason you want to get all the clues, is so you can get the victory points, I'm thinking. All right. So for me to move, he's going to take an extra action. So it's going to take me 2 actions to get into that room. And then I have technically nothing that allows him to do that action. So I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to move, but I'm going to go back to the hallway. We're going to move to the hallway, which cost him 2 actions. And then he has, I guess we'll go ahead and use our resources, our emergency cash, to get 3 more resources. And I guess we'll spend 1 to put the knife into play. And then we'll leave this skill here. Practiced. If this skill test is successful during an attack, the attack gets +1. Okay. Yeah, so that was his 3rd action, is playing his card. Okay. I know. I played 2 cards, didn't I? Play an event or asset card from hand. Oh, so I can't, hang on, I can't do that yet. When I played the resources, that was my 3rd action. All right. All right. What is Miss Wendy going to do? So she has to go. Oh, actually, earlier she would have had to go up and then down. So she would have lost 2 actions there. So what did I do? I played Hard Knocks. I would not have been able to play Hard Knocks. Right? Yeah. Because it would have taken me 1, 2 to get down here. So So pretty much the same thing though. But does she still doesn't have any investigate. Neither one of my people have investigate. These guys are horrible investigators. They're horrible investigators. Horrible, horrible investigators. So I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know what to do with her. All right, let's move one up here. Get us up there. We'll go ahead and do the hard knocks this time. For the 2. And then for 3... For 3... What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. We'll draw a card for 3, I guess. And that's Guts, which gives us willpower, which we can help him with the willpower, I guess. If this test is successful, draw a card. That's fine. So yeah, so we're going to help. All right. So we're into the round. We're going to help. Oh, hang on. We're not at the end. Oh, end of your turn. Sorry, this was at the end of his turn, not at the end of the round. Dang it. So she didn't have that card yet. So he's got 3, and he needs the 3. So the only thing that's going to win this is anything that's 0. That is a 0. +1 for each effect, +1 for each clue on your location. There's 0 clues on his location. So yeah, no +1. So it's just going to be 3, which is 3. So that goes away. All right. All right. Draw a card. Draw a card. Get a resource. Get a resource. Now he's got Guts, and then she's got a leather cloak. Item, armor. Okay, gives her 2 more health. Okay, that's cool. Mythos turn. Place 1 on Doom. All right. Advance the agenda. No. You get a card. You get a card. All right. Ravenous Ghoul. Here's something for him to do. He can beat the snot out of something. Prey lowest remaining health. Humanoid monster. Now, does Prey take effect now, or does Prey take effect if indicates which investigator an enemy will engage or move towards if it has the hunter keyword? There are multiple equally valid options. Now, because it says it engages me because I drew this card. This would be, I guess, if it's drawn in a room, or I evade it and I leave it in the room, then it's going to go after one of us. Okay. So he's hanging out with me. Treachery, Rotting Remains, Revelation. Test 3. For each point you fail, take 1 harm. So she has 4 already. And we'll just go ahead and play Guts just to make sure. So that's 6. 0. Overkill. But that's it. So. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to remove this once you get all the clues. Okay. So, I'll get our points back. So, he's got to beat up on a Ravenous Ghoul. So, his first action is going to be to beat the bejesus out of a Ravenous Ghoul. So, I need 3. Use ammo. Spend 1 ammo, fight. You get +1 for this attack. If there are 1 or more clues in your location, you get +3. There's no clues in my location. This attack deals +1 damage. So it does 2 damage. How's damage calculated? I think I forgot how damage is calculated. Attacking. Engage and fight. Investigator combat action test. Combat action deals 1. Okay, so we deal 1 damage on a success. Okay, so we deal 1, and then this would do 2, and then I can do this to do 3. Yeah, so that'll take him out. Doing that. So. exhaust my gun. Alright, so we are at 1. We're at 4. We're at 5. We need 3. And we'll do enough damage to take him out if we succeed. That is auto failure. Oh, that sucks. That was auto failure. So now I'm not doing any extra damage to him. That sucks. And then he's going to, when he attacks me, he's going to do both horror and hit points. So let's, I guess we're going to fight again, because I can't really do anything. I can't move, I can't do anything else. Okay, we're going to fight again. This gives us 4, 5. No, this wouldn't exhaust, right? Because I can just keep using the... No, I exhaust it. I can only use it once. Right? Yeah. I think you exhaust it when you use it. Alright, so. +1. So actually that was overkill. +1. So. He's gone. No, that only did 1 damage to him. Jeez. Boop. 1 damage. 1 more damage. Alright. All of that to do 1 damage. That sucks. Alright, well, I guess my last action, we'll just... This is where I need my knife on this turn, not the previous turn. Alright, we're going to hit him again, I guess. Can't do anything else. -2. That is a failure. That is a failure. Luckily, he doesn't have any failure thing if you fail. His doesn't say that there's anything that happens if we fail. So, I guess nothing happens. Alright, so. I guess Wendy's going to have to try to help me out. Yeah, because after this... enemy phase is going to attack me. I don't like that. Alright, so. Wendy has her baseball bat. I forgot to unexhaust it. She gets +2 for her attack. And then I can spend a resource to get +1 attack for the skill test. So she has 1, 2, 3. Spend a resource, 4. Then we can use the other baseball bat for 5. Think that should be enough. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. So we're at 5. We're at 5 with our baseball bat. This is -1. If you fail, take 1 horror. So it's -1. So we're at 5. That puts us at 4. We didn't fail. So that is 1 more damage. All right, and let's do that again. So, we're going to overpower this time. That's 2. And if we're successful, we get to draw a card. So that's 2, 3, and then we're going to spend a resource, 4. All right, so we're at 4 of 3, I think. Let's throw the knife in there too. So that's 5. 5. -1, so that's 4. We succeed. Okay, that was a lot of cards to just basically that was almost our entire turn, because now she's gonna move down here and take another damage. But that is 3 damage, so he is gone. So that leather cloak is free, so we're just going to add our leather cloak right there. That gives her 2 more hit points, so that puts her at 8. I don't want to use either one of them. I guess we'll use our last one to, since we just healed, we'll use our last one to go down into the cellar, and then we take 1 damage, put us back down to 7. All right. We killed all the enemies, so we get to draw a card, get a resource, draw a card, get a resource. All right, remove exhaustion. And this phase. We're at 3. You get a card, you get a card. All right. Treachery, obscuring fog, hazard, revelation. Attached to your location. Limit 1 per location. Attached location gets +2 shroud. Forced. After attached location is successfully investigated, discard obscuring fog. What's +2 shroud? I don't think it matters because we're not doing anything in this location right now. So I don't know what that does. Shroud. Shroud. No shroud. Where would shroud be? Shroud is not there. Where would shroud be? Because it's not under S. Golden rules, grim rules. Yeah, shroud isn't in the book. On the back of this book? Now. So I don't know what shroud does. You're telling me something, but you don't have that as a keyword. Q-R S E F G H I J K, yeah. And this is where the PDF would come in handy. This is where that would come in. I would imagine it means that it's more difficult to investigate in the location. Would be my assumption. That would be my assumption. I don't know. I don't know what Shroud does, so I'm kind of like I don't know what to do with that spot. Okay. Ooh, a ghoul minion. Why is she getting all the people? He's the one that needs to kill things. I mean, he can move down here though and then whack it, and then he still gets the clue because there's an investigation there. So that's fine. That works. Humanoid monster ghoul. It's got HP Lovecraft Pikmin melody stuff going. All right. So, oh yeah, I forgot to get these back. All right. So, first action, we're going to come down here. Forced, we do take 1 damage. I don't know. I guess there's healing stuff somewhere. So I guess we can heal at some point. Oh, and I finally have my, I got my books. I have Working a Hunch. Fast, play only during your turn. Discover 1 clue at your location. So what was fast again? Player may play fast card without spending an action. Okay, so this is free. Yeah. So we're gonna play fast, which gets us a clue. So that puts us at 3. Puts us at 5. And then we're going to attack the ghoul. So we're going to use our gun. Takes us down to 2. So this is, get +1 for the attack. If there's 1 more clues, there are, so we get +3. So we have 3. We have 7. And deal +1 damage, which will take it out. So it's 7. The skull is -X. X is the number of ghoul enemies in your location. There's 1, so that'd be -1. Still more than enough. So he goes away. And then after you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. So that goes down to 2. This goes to 6. So we have completed the barrier. Using the barrel from Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders and consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking the passage to the parlor has vanished. Reveal the parlor. All right. Put the set aside Lita Chandler into play. Spawn the set aside Ghoul Priest in the hallway. Is that you? Yes, that's you. All right. So we have to go back here. So again, now I need to know, what does that shroud do? All right, I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know what shroud does. How could you have a keyword on the introductory scenario and not have it in the rules reference? Come on now. All right, let's see here. All right. So let's see. We'll try Copilot first. Why not? All right. What is shroud? Keyword in Arkham. LCG. Shroud's location stat tells you how difficult it is to discover clues location. Location has Shroud 3, intellect 4. Yeah, so the Shroud, it pulled from the Arkham Horror Bandom element, so I'm guessing that's right. So Shroud, oops. Shroud value purposes the difficulty of finding clues. Use an investigation skill test typically matches. Okay, so it's okay. So that's why I did have it. So this is your Shroud. Okay, so now that makes more sense. I didn't know that that was the term for the investigate. So it just makes investigation harder. Okay, so I don't care. I don't need to investigate anything there. So yeah. All right. So that was his second action. And then we have, okay, what have you done? One with the torch stands in your parlor, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wall sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing towards you. Objective. If the Ghoul Priest is defeated, advance. Okay, so we have to defeat him. I imagine we have to go get her. I would think we'd have to go over here and pick her up. So I guess we go in here, then we get this. But the thing is, I'd have to invade him. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I could move in there. Which it's going to engage me anyways. And he's Hunter, so he's going to come after me. But he does have Retaliate. Which, if it's Retaliate like any other game, he's going to hit me back when I hit him. Question is, does he retaliate for his full, or does he just retaliate for one? Retaliate. Retaliate's keyword. Each time an investigator fails a skill test when attacking a ready enemy, they retaliate. After applying all results of the skill test, the enemy performs an attack against the attacking investigator. Okay, so he attacks if I fail. Okay, so if I succeed, he doesn't. Is this the first scenario in the core? This is the first scenario in the original core. Yeah, Steve. I'm making my way through the rules. I can already tell you, Steve, I enjoy this way more than Lord of the Rings. Which, don't let my dad hear me say that. All right. So again, if I get these two clues, which he can't. He has no capability of getting clues down here. But if I got those two clues, then I would get another victory point. Resign. It's too much for me. You run out of the front door, fleeing in panic. While Lita Chandler is not controlled by a player, she gains Parlay, test 4. To succeed, take control of... Okay, so we have to do a test of 4, and then we can gain her. Or we go to the parlor and run away. But the problem is, you gotta go to the hallway, and the Ghoul Priest is in the hallway. So the only way to do that is you have to go here, and then evade him and go here. So, we use my last movement to go up here, because he's going to engage with me anyways. So it doesn't matter. Question is, does he engage when I move in there, or does he engage... When does he engage? I guess is fine. How dare you unsubscribe? I don't know. I'll play Lord of the Rings on the channel. I'll play the trilogy. Maybe playing characters I know in the story I know more. Maybe, but the initial chapter I did not enjoy. All right, so, or no, engage is an action, isn't it? Draw, play, activate, investigate, fight, or engage. So yeah, I can't engage. So the enemy, though, he will engage me on his turn, I believe. Let's see here. Any engagement. While enemy card is in play, it's either engaged with investigator or unengaged. Each enemy in investigator's threat area is the same location investigator. Should the investigator move, the enemy remains engaged with the investigator or move to the location. Anytime we're ready, unengaged enemies in the same location investigator and engage with the investigator and is placed in the investigator's threat area. If multiple investigator. Okay, so anytime. So this is anytime. So he's gonna engage, I guess now. The core is not a great experience. The first scenario is meh. The second is good. The third is poorly balanced. I also have the extra scenario. Again, but I played I think the first one like twice. I did cheat though too. I played the reveal the card, then make my decisions. It's more like this one, even though I don't get to know what's happening, and it's kind of the same as Marvel Champions and Lord of the Rings. You don't know how much you need to do. At least this is more fun than the random card draw. So he's going to attack me. Yeah, about that. Yeah, an enemy immediately engages if an investigator moves in the same location. Maybe I shouldn't move, because then he'll move to me. Then he'll engage. No, he still attacks. He's still going to attack me, no matter what he's attacking me. So, it doesn't matter. If I didn't move, he's Hunter. He's going to come down here to me and then engage me. The only benefit of leaving him down there is Wendy's down there too. But again, I'm going to have to move Wendy on her turn. So, yeah. I don't remember. Did I use this? Yeah, I used this on this turn. No, I used that on the previous turn because I was down here. No. I did all this here. That was my last action, was to move up there. Right. All right. So on Wendy. I don't need the emergency cash. I don't need 3 more resources. So she is going to move. Right? So she's going to move up here. And then she's going to attack. The problem is if I kill the ghoul, I advance. The question is, do I still get Lita? Or do I need to rescue Lita? I feel like I need to rescue Lita. All right. So she's not engaged with the ghoul. So I can technically move her again. Sorry, Roland, you're on your own, buddy. You're on your own. All right. But I cannot parlay because I do not have an intellect card. So let's, for the last action, we'll just draw a card. Again, another emergency cash. That didn't help us. Did not help us. All right. So, enemy phase. The enemies are going to attack. So he's going to do 2 damage to me. So it takes me down to 7. And 2 horror. So that's going to take it down to 2. Yeah. That's not good. All right. Unexhaust. And yeah, I mean, she could have put some damage into him, I guess. Should I have just had her put some damage into him? Yeah, since I didn't have the cards to do that, let's rewind that. So let's put that back. She's not going to be able to kill him, right? He's got... How much hit points does he have? He's got 5 times the number of players. Okay, so no, he's got 10 hit points. Okay, yeah, she wasn't going to take him out. She wasn't going to take him out. He's got 10 hit points. All right. So she's gonna whack him. All right. So instead, let's do that. Rewind that card draw. All right. She's gonna whack him a couple times. All right. So she's going to use the event fight. This attack can use her shoes instead of her fist. This attack does +2 damage. So we're going to use her shoes of 4. Let's see here. 4, 5, 6. Right. So we have 6. If we used her attack, it still says here that this attack deals +1 damage. I can still do the +1 damage. I just wouldn't use the fist, right? Because it'd be, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to use her bat as well. No, we'll use her bat on the next turn. Let's use her bat on the next turn. So, we're going to fight. So that's, yeah. So 4, 5, right? Yeah, so we're at 5. Yeah, and I can redraw if I have to, but she's at 5. We need 4. -1, so it's still 4. So she does 2, 3 damage. Right? Yeah. So she does 3 damage, so that takes him down to 7. And then she's going to attack again, this time with her fists this time. Although I could have done the manual dexterity, but I didn't need to, so that's fine. She's going to attack with her fists this time. So she gets 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Maybe not. That's 4, which is right at it, which means I have to draw the 0. I do have her ability where I can draw again. All right, so we're at 4. I need something that's 0. The skull -1. 1 is the number of ghouls. As he counts as a ghoul, he does count as a ghoul. So that would put me at 3, right? Oh, and I'd have to discard my baseball bat. Yeah, we're not doing that. Let's try that again. That's better. All right, so that is effect +0. If Wendy's amulet is in play, you automatically succeed, but that doesn't matter. We still succeed because it's a +0. So that does +1 damage. So that is 2 damage. So that takes him down to 5. But I think on the next turn, I'm going to have Wendy go first, because I'm going to have her come down here. 5. 5 will. The number 5. Okay. So. And if she would have failed, which she didn't, then he would have retaliated, actually him, because it retaliates, or it does the failure to be engaged. So that was good. She succeeded. All right. So now he attacks. So he did his attack there. Now we refresh. So refresh. Roland's just hoarding resources over here. He's got way too many resources. All right, we know she's getting a stupid emergency cache. He's getting physical training. So this allows us to spend a resource to get +1 punch. Okay. All right. So 1 for you. Oh, take this up to 4. So 4 of 7. Right. Roland. Ghoul minion. So yeah, just he has another minion to play with. All right, and swarm of rats. So everybody gets a friend. You get a friend. You get a friend. Everybody gets a friend. All right. Let's see. So I was going to have her go first, so she can get down here. Problem now, she has to evade to get away from these stupid rats. Or we just need to, I guess we need to hit the rats. So, yeah. So let's hit the rats. So she's going to, we're going to have her go first. So I want her to come down here and try to do this. Problem is, I don't have enough investigate. Oh, and I still wanted to finish that too so I could get the extra victory point. There's just not enough time. Like, I don't know how in a single player somebody would be able to do this. Like, if I had Roland in a single player, I still would not have gotten enough. I don't think. Well, he would have gotten a couple more of the minions he could have taken out, maybe. So maybe I would have. Yeah, I can either evade these and just go down there, which is going to take an action, or I can kill them and then go down there. Either way, it's taking an action, right? So let's... First action, use the baseball bat. We need a 1. We're at 3. Use her ability, so... That's a 0. That's a success. Goodbye, rats. Leave me alone. Alright, so... Let's go ahead and move down here. Yeah, I have no way to interact with her right now, so I think my best bet is just to draw a card and hope. Oh, that's overpower. That's not helpful. All right. Roland, you got to do some stuff, man. All right. So we're going to go ahead and play physical training for 1 action and 2 resources. All right. And then guts don't do us any good. No guts, no glory. All right. So we want to take out... Both these guys are going to hit him. Dang it. He can't. I can't let him hit. I can't parlay with Lita. Because he can't hit because he'll die. So I need to take that back. So I need to take that move back. I can't move for my last action. So instead of moving, we would have drawn a card because I would have needed some kind of attack capability. Luckily, I got overpower. So that's 2, 3. Because he can't do 4. He can't do 4 damage because we don't have any clues. So most I can do is 1, 2, 3 damage. Right? Yeah, most I can do is 3 damage. So she has to do 2 damage. But I already used my baseball bat. I can't do another damage. I need to do another damage. I don't see a way to do another damage. Still trying to figure out why there's an investigate symbol on a card that has 0 clues. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would I have an investigate in a location with no clues? I don't think I can do this. I mean, she can draw a card, but at that point it'll be too late. It should be a 2, 3, 4. He is 4, meaning I have to get the exact number. and that'll just do 1 damage. And then Roland will do 1, 2, 3. Unless I can draw into another card. Guess that's where we're going. We're going to have to go with him drawing into a card. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right. So that was her second action instead of drawing a card, or instead of moving, she drew a card. Was this turn or was this the previous turn? What did I do for her first action? Now I don't remember. I don't remember what I did for her first action. I think it was an attack, wasn't it? Don't remember what I did for her first action. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what I did. I don't remember. All right, so I got to back up quite a bit. In a single player speaking. All right. All right, so first action, what did I do? Oh, I had to get rid of the rat. All right, so I got rid of the rat. So instead of getting rid of the rat, let's use that on him. Instead of getting rid of the rat, let's attack him. Right? So then I would have done 2 damage to him, which takes him down to 3. Right? And then, let's go. That would have been my first action. Let's not draw this card yet. Okay. Rewind all that. All right. So, then, for my second action, she would have just attacked the rats. She has 1, and then I can make it a 2. So let's reduce this to 2. Right? So I'm at 2. And a 0, so that's enough. So the rats are still gone. Okay, so we're back where we were. Rats are gone. Okay. I think I forgot to take this up to 5 on the last turn. Now he's at 3, and Roland can take care of him. All right, so for her last action, she's going to... Again, I can't move. I'm going to take him out, and that immediately... And then I immediately advance that. So, for the last one... Let's draw a card to help Roland. Okay, so now it's Roland's turn. First action, I put in physical training. Second action, we're going to attack. So we're at 4. Spend an ammo. So 5. 6. But I'm still only doing 2 damage. How did I do my math wrong? Okay, fine. She still has the rat. Fine. Rat stays. She did 1 more damage to him. Math is hard. All right. So he's at 2. That's fine. Okay. Roland's going to do 1, 2, because he's going to shoot him with a gun. So we're at 4, 5. Spend one of these. 6. And she's going to play that 7, 8. We're at 8. We're just overkilling it now. Well, we're at 8. Oh, earlier I forgot she had to discard a card when she did that. That sucks. That sucks. Fine. I overcommitted. There was no reason for me to play that. But now I can't do 2 damage. Because I think I can only use the weapon once, right? all of that, and I think it's still a loss, right? How do I do 2 damage? I have one action left. He's going to do 2 horror plus 1 horror. Yeah, I don't think I can. I think that's it. Let me check. Let me check using like I don't remember it saying anything about using an item and exhausting an item. Like what do you exhaust? I mean, I know exhaust because I mean it's the same as Marvel Champions. If I use an item, I exhaust it, right? And it has counters on it, right? Play. Draw action. Where's exhaust? Now that's the only thing I dislike about them having 2. I mean, I like that they have 2 rulebooks and one's a keyword rulebook, but I hate it when I'm trying to find something in one and then I can't find it, so then I go to the other. And saying this is effects. There's no exhaust. Where's exhaust? Gotta be exhaust. There's exhaust. Occasionally, a card ability or game setup will cause a card to exhaust, indicated by 90 degrees. When a card exhausts, rotate 90 degrees. A card in this state is stated to be exhaust. An exhausted card cannot exhaust again until ready. Typically, a game step or card ability. So it's that arrow. What's the arrow mean? The arrow means exhaust, right? Action trigger. Costs an action to use this ability. Oh, have I been doing that wrong? I have been doing that wrong. So that you don't exhaust the card. You have to spend a second action to use the ability. So if I wanted to attack, I would use one action to attack and a second action to use this card. Oh, I've been doing that completely wrong. Yeah, for all my attacks, I've been doing that completely wrong. Well, no. The action I'm doing is fighting. And then I still add this to my fight. So so it's technically the same. But it's not saying I exhaust this. So can I use my weapons multiple times? I watched... Who was I watching? I was watching One Stop Co-op Shop, and he just did a playthrough of the new core. And I could have sworn he kept exhausting his weapons every time he did it. And in here, it doesn't talk about using your weapons. Like that's the thing that confused me. Like nowhere in here does it talk about using an item. It only talks about using an item with a instant, like the little lightning bolt looking thing. Oh. Yeah, so modifying a skill. It says, in addition, investigator may activate a free triggered ability during a skill test. So this is called an action trigger. All right, so let's go back here and look at action trigger. Action. 3 actions. If investigator is restricted to lose 1 more actions. For a full list of actions, see 2.2.1. Where's 2.2.1? 2.2.1. Investigator takes actions, move, play, activate a card, costed ability, in play in your card you control, an in play and counter card at your location or card in your threat area, the current act card or current agenda card. Okay, so we're activate. You gonna give me more info? Skill test timing. There you go. Enemy. Investigation begins. Player window. Next event and player window. Activate investigator may take an action if able. Investigator's turn end. So I don't know. I guess maybe you don't exhaust your weapons? Because it just says you activate the weapon. Here we go. Activate action. When this action is taken, investigate initiate an ability and specifies one or more icons as part of the ability cost. Number of icons in the ability's cost determines how many actions is required to pay for the action. When performing activate action, all the actions costs are simultaneously paid, then the consequences are resolved. Investigators permitted to activate abilities from the following sources: a card in play, scenario card that is in play, same location, current act, regenerate. So it doesn't say anything about exhausting. So I've been exhausting my weapons this whole time. So I don't think I exhaust my weapon. So technically, then yeah, she could have whacked him another time, each of those times, I guess. All right, so fine. I'm guessing. Somebody will get me in the comments if I'm doing this wrong throughout the entire playthrough, but I guess I have one more bullet. So I use my last bullet, which means this will end up going away. We will spend another resource, right? It doesn't matter. We'll say she did the overpower. It doesn't matter either way. I don't need the overpower. So now we're going to do 2 damage. We're at 4, 5, 6. So we're at 6. That is the cloak, -1. So that puts us at 5. So that's fine. We do our 2 damage. He is gone. He's victory 2, so he goes into the victory pile. All right. And I may have cheated somewhere or not done a rule somewhere which made this harder for me. I don't know. When the robed creature falls, the fiendish swarm burrows back into the ground and the echoes of the house quiet, but the stranger in your parlor doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal. That was a trap. That was to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must take more direct measures and burn this hell pit to the ground. The lead investigators must decide. Choose one. It was never much of a home. Burn it down. This hell pit is my home. No way we are burning it down. So we're going to burn it down. We're going to burn it down. Why not? Knight and Zealot. So that is R1. Resolution 1. Okay. If no resolution was released or is defeated... No. Resolution 1. You nod and allow the red-haired woman to set the walls and floor in your house ablaze. The fire splits quickly, and you run to the front door to avoid being caught in the inferno. From the sidewalk, you watch as everything you own is consumed in flames. Come with me, the woman says. You must be told of the threat that lurks below. Alone, we are surely doomed, but together, we can stop it. In your campaign book, record that your house was burned to the ground. The lead investigator earns Lita. Okay, so I get Lita. Hello, Lita. Does not count towards your deck size. Lead investigator suffers 1 mental trauma from watching his or her home burn to the ground. How do I suffer a mental trauma? Guess I'll have to figure that one out. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value on each card in the victory display. Remember to add eligible locations of victory display. Each investigator earns 2 bonus experience as he or she gains insight into the world of the mythos. So, we have 2, 3. I don't think we get this one because I left clues there, if I'm not mistaken. And then we get another 2. So we are at 5 experience. So we each have 5 experience, so I have to upgrade my deck. I don't know what cards to add. So of course that's where I'm hoping people leave comments and tell me what to add with my 5 cards. Yeah. One experience require adding a new card to your deck always costs at least 1 experience and requires you maintain your deck size. Some cards represent a higher level version of the card of the same title. These cards have the same title as other versions, but may have additional effects. Player is a lower level version of a card and wishes to purchase the higher level. They may upgrade it by spending an experience equal to the difference in levels of the two. The new version is added to the deck and the older version is removed. Refer to page 5 for spending experience points. There you go. Trauma, death, and insanity. Trauma presents permanent damage done to the investigator's health or psyche. Investigator is defeated during a scenario. The investigator still advances to the next scenario with the rest of the party unless the scenario resolution states they are killed or driven insane. However, investigator, when is defeated, damaged, and harm, may suffer permanent trauma. This stays in the investigator through the campaign. Refer to page 6. Okay, so it says I am suffering a trauma. So page 6. Page 6 on what? Oh, rules reference. All right, gotta figure out my trauma. Page 6. Trauma. Trauma reflects permanent damage that has been done to the psyche. Okay. Defeat a card ability. Investigator may be defeated by a card ability. Advance the next scenario. How do I gain... What it says gain a mental trauma. Is that just on the back of the book? That's just on the back of the campaign book? It's just something I have to put back here? Oh, okay, yeah, trauma. Okay, so I just have to mark that I have a trauma. What happens if I have trauma? If an investigator is defeated, taking horror equal to his insanity, or suffers 1 mental trauma recorded in the campaign log. For each mental trauma an investigator has, the investigator begins each subsequent scenario in the campaign with 1 horror. Okay, so you start with 1 horror. An investigator has mental trauma equal to his or her printed sanity. The investigator is driven insane. Okay. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the first impressions. So there we go. Oh, that was about an hour and a half. And that was with me not really knowing what I was doing and backtracking and all of that stuff. So I can definitely knock this out on some lunch streams, I guess. Unless the other scenarios are probably longer. All right. Anyway, we're going to start with components. So components are good. Components are the normal FFG quality cards and card stock. You do get tokens. I wasn't using any of the tokens, but you do get some cardboard tokens and a first player marker. Or lead investigator. Of course, we're using the extra life die because we support extra life, so it's just an easy way for me to show that to you. I use dice to serve their purpose. Again, it came with little cards. I messed my cards up because I was going to put them in coin capsules and completely screwed that up. So I got these new tokens I bought off, Etsy. And I like my little tokens I got, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, there's nothing really wrong with components. The box is the normal box. It's got plastic rows. Currently, it fits the core box, and 1 expansion, but everything's not sleeved yet. I do use cheap, thin penny sleeves, so maybe that wouldn't matter. And then that's what it is. Mechanics. So the mechanics on this one, I like. Most of the gameplay is similar to most of the LCGs, right? You're paying some kind of resources to play the cards in your hand. You draw a card and so forth. It's a little bit different because you don't have a base draw. So you don't have like, okay, so many cards you're going to be drawing each turn. So you do have to figure out how and when you're going to use your cards to succeed at the tasks, which is, I guess, more like Lord of the Rings, which for some reason I didn't like the way that worked. And I think the reason I didn't like the way that worked is you weren't playing a character, you're playing a bunch of characters, and then you're randomly just putting people out as blocks and shields. Now, I know you can get allies. I didn't run into any allies except for the one I got at the very end, which was Lita. as an asset. Um, and basically, each investigator's location gets +1 attack, and then when investigating your location successfully attacks a monster, that investigator does +1 damage, right? So it's actually kind of good that Roland got her, because that's what he does, is attack. So I like that. I like that. I like the exploratory that you're going out and investigating. It's more like a dungeon delve type thing. Whereas like with Marvel Champions, you don't have that, right? You're just playing against them in this one location. Same as Lord of the Rings, while they've got like these little things that you're going to put up there saying, oh, you went to that location. You're not actually going to those locations. You're not trying to find things out. So I like that you're moving around. It makes it feel more like a dungeon crawl, but it's also making it feel more thematic that you're traveling around. In this case, my house that got burnt to the ground. So no, I like all the mechanics of this one. Difficulty. So I was playing one easy, and this was still difficult. Like, because you still have that luck of the draw. You still have that randomness. So being able to mitigate your cards comes into, I guess, two ways. Upgrading your cards and deck building, and then having somebody else who can help you on those tasks, right? But now that means that both of us are staying together the whole time, which it takes that much more actions to get. Now, I don't know. In this scenario, we kind of stayed together. There's only 3 rooms. It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't know if on bigger maps, if I'm going to have to spread out to really be able to do things, in which case that assisting goes away, and Roland, unless there's some guys chasing him, he can't really investigate very well. I mean, I do have investigate cards, and that's 1 investigate. There's 2 punch, 1 investigate, 2 investigate. Yeah, so I have a lot of punches, investigates. They just weren't coming out, like, at all. And for Wendy never got that many investigate cards, but I guarantee you, same thing. There's her wild, there's her double investigate, double wild, investigate, investigate. So they're in here. You just got to get to them. Double investigate, double investigate. Next one up would have been double investigate. So I think that's the only thing. It isn't necessarily the difficulty. It's the luck of the draw of can you do it. At the end, I had to redo all of my math to figure out how can I defeat him, which means I had to completely rewind a turn. I did have a little bit less hidden information, although it didn't come in handy because I knew I was going to get this overpower, and then I ended up not using it. Now, again, I also could have spent the other action. I could have actually used her baseball bat on that one, because again, I could have done it a couple times. I didn't realize I could just keep using the baseball bat, which means each time that Wendy had attacked, I would have actually done +1 damage. So actually, I would have been probably would have won a round earlier, I'm thinking. So there's a lot to keep up with. That's normal for LCG. So that's where your difficulty comes in, right? Is the complexity and the randomness, but then also just the complexity and the nature of the game and solving the puzzle. Fun at 2. This I did play as a 2-player game. I know you can play true solo. I don't think I would want to. It's kind of the same thing people say about even Lord of the Rings and Marvel Champions. It's just you can do so much more by playing solo with 2 hands, because you can cover the things that the other person doesn't have, right? So I don't think I would ever play a true solo, but I did enjoy this as the 2-player or 2-handed mode. Again, I won't know how it plays at higher player counts unless somebody happens to visit me at some point in time, because again, my wife's not going to play this with me. Next is theme. So again, I've always been intrigued by the theme. I always look at games when they come out and somebody's making one. I'm like, oh, is this a game I can get to at least have a game of this theme in my library? So very excited to have this now to play. I'm really looking forward to going into the next story. Does it make me want to go out, maybe read some of the books or watch a movie or 2? Sure. Normally, whenever I have a game that is based on an IP or a theme, I'll go out and try to watch some things. So if you guys have recommendations of movies and things to watch, let me know down below. But that is that. Again, in the comments, please let me know what cards I should probably add to each of their decks. We have five experience points we get to spend. And again, I have Drowned City and the core box. So basically some level 2 cards that would go good with these 2 decks. If you want to know what these decks are, they're, like I said, they're the highest rated decks for these 2 characters, using only a core box on the Arkham DB. But that's it. That is this playthrough. If you want to see more Arkham playthrough or watch me struggle and make rules mistakes through more Arkham playthroughs, make sure you like, subscribe, bell notification, hit that notify me button when I schedule a live stream. But until next time, guys, peace.